Hey guys, my villainess, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you guys here. I'm so sorry for the noise. There's some construction work going on beneath my property, so you will be hearing some noise in the background. But I just wanted to come up and do a reading. This reading is specifically dedicated to the current declaration of war that is happening between Russia and Ukraine. Russia definitely has declared a war on Ukraine and wants to attack Ukraine in a way and take ownership of Ukraine. Ukraine is not a part of NATO, which is causing them to have no protection from the US in terms of weaponry or in terms of resources or help or support in any way, shape, or form. And the president of UK is not interested in giving up any of their resources or their own their own space, right? They want to make sure that they protect their land, and they want to make sure that they don't have to give up their rights. And this is kind of scary, because like one part of it is scary because it just seems like it's going to impact a lot of people, because as soon as Russia takes over Ukraine, because it's very obvious that Ukraine does not have enough resources to be able to fight off Russia. So we know what's going to happen. We know that Russia will eventually take over, and this in turn can really affect United States, right? Because then the next aim that Russia will have is over United States. This is a discussion that also I was having with a few other people on Clubhouse. Someone also mentioned about Russia already being in Ukraine for the past 1 year, in a way where Russia had sent some soldiers in Ukraine in order to keep some sort of a training going on, so that they could finally attack this year. So this was a strategic plan, and Putin was always interested in having Ukraine. And there's this sort of I'm getting this sort of power grab that Putin wants from having Ukraine within its vicinity and its ownership and autocratic. I don't know why I heard that term, autocratic. Maybe some of you can explain what that is. I'm just channeling as well, along with sharing the facts with you of what I've been hearing. So Russia has already been, training for this time to come, and they have already been strategically planning all of this so that USA is also helpless in not being able to support Ukraine. And Ukraine has to finally give up and get under the control of Russians. The same thing happened with Afghanistan, where Afghanistan had to give up their rights to the Talibans, and the Talibans took over Afghanistan. And there was one more point that I wanted to add, where the Chinese were also zooming in onto the borders of India. Right? That this is something which I heard from one of my friends who was sharing this news with me, that the Chinese have been testing certain things in near the border of India, and our soldiers had to be vigilant and on guard and on point when it came to making sure that Chinese are not experimenting or going beyond their boundaries in terms of what they can and cannot do near the Indian border. And this was already happening. So there are tests that are being thrown at different countries and different alliances, right? Like Russia is aligned, or Russia has aligned with China, and I think that China and Russia are together, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not that well versed in politics, guys. I'm just, sharing whatever it is that is coming out, including what I've heard, what I've discussed with people, and what facts I've learned about. So, yeah, this will have a massive impact on the global scale, because USA is also having its own Pluto return. So this is causing for the parts of US that were overpowering and overshadowing other countries to dissipate, because there's some karmic retribution that has to occur, so that there's a balance in the world. But before the balance comes in, there has to be a period of destruction which causes a balance to come about, right? So this is the time for a new beginning, a new era, where we have to know about renewable resources, we have to know about how to get our own supplies, or how to have sustainable energy, and learn about permaculture, and learn about certain ways to preserve the land for yourself, for your family, for the people that you care about. Start researching these things. What if the internet goes off suddenly? We all have to prepare for those times, even if they don't happen. We have to be prepared, because we are not how we were before. We cannot be in the same old comfort space that we were in before. We have to be more alert, even though we don't have to take everything negative that is happening in the world and make us a worrywart, but rather be informed about what is happening and know when to take the right action in order to align with what we want to manifest in our life in the future, right? Like, if you have this intuition that something is pulling you away from your country, and you don't feel safe about a space, and you feel like moving to another place, or there's certain research that you have done which is inclining you towards moving to a certain space or location, then this is the best bet for you to go ahead and do it. Have all your backup plans ready right now, because you never know what can happen. There has to be certain plans in place for you to set your foundation, so that you are prepared for any outcome that appears. And the main important thing is to stock on food. So guys, make sure that you are stocking up on that food, because the prices of the oil will eventually go up due to the war. When war happens, it brings profits to only the higher ups, right? The higher ups go to war for power grab and for profits, out of boredom, out of this necessity to control and to show their dominance, and to wrestle and to bully another country into submission, right? So this is all about power grab for them. But for people who have not been sovereign, people who have not been independent completely and dependent on the government for their resources, for their land, for their water, for their shelter, whatever it may be, it's time to take your power back, your ownership back, and make sure that you have a safe haven, a safe space where you can go to when things are not secure around you, or there's chaos happening around you. Even though we wish for the best internally, and we are the most positive people, and we will attract the most positive timeline if we are in that high vibration and high frequency, and we are going within, and we are meditating, and we know the intuitive nudges that we are getting from our higher self to move in a certain location or to move in a certain direction. So we need to listen to that higher guidance right now, okay? So I haven't pulled even one card yet regarding this whole scenario, but let's see, why is Putin so hell-bent on getting Ukraine or attacking Ukraine? Why has he been strategizing to get Ukraine? Queen of Wands, yes. So Queen of Wands is a fiery energy. It's a passionate energy. And there's this smile on this queen's face. Now, even if Putin is a man, a man can, embody a feminine energy in the tarot, right? So this is talking about him being very, very passionate and excited to have this power over Ukraine. It's like something of an achievement, something that he will be proud to share with, the world, that he has overcome certain goals and dreams that he had. He was so passionate about this, and he is fiercely, he's fiercely feeling like a warrior right now when it comes to conquering Ukraine. And the reason he wants to do it is because he wants power, he wants that fire, he wants that war. 5 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to take that card as well. So it talks about having a war and enjoying that war. So there's a smile on this woman's face when she's creating this war. So this talks about like him having some form of joy in chaos, or enjoying the chaos that he is bringing about in this world, where people are going to stamp above each other, or like walk over each other's heads, or run over each other in terms of saving themselves. And not having that peace of mind, but rather being in fear mindset and being in this energy of who comes first, or who can save themselves first. And it's about just overpowering the population to the point where there's chaos in the whole continent. There's chaos, and feeling insecure and feeling unsafe within their own land. This is what Putin wants to create in Ukraine by conquering Ukraine. He wants to create fear, he wants to create war, he wants to start a heavy war among powerful people, and that is what he wants to do. He's enjoying this process, guys. You can see it in the cards. You can see both the cards embody the fire energy. It's about passion, aggression, drive. It's about destruction. It's about violence. It's about this is like literally Putin looking at Ukraine like Putin wants to rape Ukraine. Like, this is the energy that I'm picking up, literally, and it's very ferocious. But this is the truth, and truth is a double-edged sword, right? Like, it hurts, but it also provides clarity. So this is what we're seeing here, and this is his intention. Like, this is why he's doing this. He wants to cause chaos. He wants to cause people to go people to argue with each other, people to fight with each other about the differences that we have among each other. And this is the autocratic system that he wants to bring in along with China. China is communism, and this is what these people want to bring into this new world order. And this is how they are initiating it, because once they take over Ukraine, then they have more power to expand towards, attacking America or attacking bigger powers and creating chaos, with the 5 of Wands, and enjoying that, because now they know that they have the proper alliances with the candles around this Queen of Wands. You can see that he's trying to, power up with all other or have alliances with different countries, and have people on Putin's side, so that they can help him with this war, and they can help him be victorious within this war. Okay, so that he can cause this chaos, and he can cause this disharmony in the prices, disharmony in the economy, disharmony in the way that people are making their living right now, because people are already struggling due to COVID, and he wants to drop this bomb here again. So there could be some like very heavy, there's going to be heavy changes here, guys. Okay, but since these are two minor arcanas, let's see what else is popping up in this reading. Yeah, but with the 8 of Wands, I just saw the 8 of Wands. So yeah, there's some very fast movement. So he has been planning this for a very long time. He's always wanted to lead Ukraine, but now he's found the right opportunity to dive in and be like, okay, now I can take over, and now I have the comfort space and the alliances and the necessary motivation, enthusiasm, as well as the support from his friends, his friendly countries. And let's see what else. Tell me more about this energy, please. So okay, so since this is his intentions, what should the collective do about this? What should the collective do about this? Let's see. Even the cards have become very stiff, because like, even me doing this reading is somewhere a risk factor on me, but I know that my higher self wants me to do this, because I'm a sovereign being, and I am not responsible for the mentalities and the intentions of others, right? So my higher self wants me to do this, and with the strength card, that is exactly what my higher self is guiding. Even all of you, your higher selves are coming into this spread and telling you that this is the time to have strength, to have fortitude, to know what it is that you have dreamed of about in your life, and to manifest that for yourself. If you want your dreams to come true, it's time for you to tame certain habits that you have had, tame certain obsessions, certain tendencies that you have developed, where you have become codependent to where you have been, to how you have been, to who you have been. It's time for you to be stronger than that. It's time for you to move beyond the realm of comfort. Okay, and it's time for you to get out of your comfort zone and understand that you have the strength and the tenacity to overcome these challenges. Okay, this tough time is only building your strength, collective, right? Because we are in the age of Aquarius, and this is the Leo card. The strength card is this card of Leo, which is opposite Aquarius. So this is activating our inner strength, our ability to shine even without having the validation of others for our creative natures, for our creative attributes. So right now is the time for you to find your own sovereignty, for you to decide what makes you stronger rather than thinking about everyone and everything. Now is the time to focus on your own research about how can you keep you and your community happy and peaceful by first knowing what it is that you can collect for yourself, what is it that you need in order to survive. Okay, this is a time to know how to thrive, not to just survive but to thrive. And spirit is saying you are going to gain the strength and the courage to do so. You are going to have to leave certain habits alone, certain decisions alone, certain people alone, certain jobs alone. Like, you have to discard certain things from your life and gain the strength to move into the next chapter of your life, which is making you a sovereign, which is making you more powerful than before, which is activating certain gifts within you, certain ancestral gifts within you. Because your ancestors have been through this. Your ancestors have been through war, through blood, sweat and tears. They have given up their lives for what they believed in, collective. And this is what spirit is asking of us right now, that even though there are people who enjoy war and enjoy imposing suffering on other people, it's time for you to take your power back from them. Stop fearing these people, stop fearing their chaos. Try to inhabit this energy within yourself and create structures for yourself. Organize your life in such a way where you are taking plans, you're taking steps in order to go towards your true independence, interdependence. Building a community. Start opening social groups where you are talking to other people online. Share your resources with each other. Start talking about how it is that you can build certain communities where you have your own land, where you have your own supplies. Start dedicating yourselves to this right now. This is the time for you to do it, okay? So that you have the strength. Tame yourself to not be aggressive, because you cannot fight fire with fire, is what spirit is saying. If they want war, you cannot have this warlike attitude towards them. You have to come with love, you have to come with peace, you have to come with strategy, but in a way where you are exuding this strength in a calm manner. You don't have to lash out, you don't have to be scared. You have to have the determination to see your plans through, just like these leaders have the determination to see their chaos through, right? You have to see your peace through this, right? So let's see how can the collective do that. Please tell me. That's a lot of cards. Yeah, but the collective is definitely feeling trapped right now. There's a lot of fears, a lot of what if I leave this job and I move here? How will I be able to start over? I don't know anybody here in this country. I don't know anybody. Well, with the next card out, Queen of Pentacles, you're going to be secure, you're going to be stable, you're going to be safe if you decide to be strong, if you decide to tame yourself, if you decide to ground yourself and think about your stability, think about your abundance, think about what kind of a life it is that you want for yourself. You want something that is stable, that is comfortable for you. You don't want to be in a space where there's war, where there's chaos, where there's drama, right? So it's time for you to think about purchasing lands. Queen of Pentacles talks about purchases of properties, of lands. So thinking about real estate and expanding on that, expanding on places that are not appreciating in a sense, but are like gold mines, are like hidden gold mines that eventually will yield you a lot of benefits, right? So thinking about long-term investments in a way where you are strategically planning to like move in a dignified way and not try to fight fire with fire. That's exactly what I'm seeing here. And thinking about what your comfort space entails, because if your comfort space is taken away from you, what do you have left? It's the unknown, right? So now is the time to plan what it is that you want for your life, for yourself, and to execute those plans and to work towards those plans. Start journaling about these things and start putting a to-do list about what it is that you want to do. What kind of people do you want to hang out with? What communities do you want to meet in order to meet more people who want to build the blueprint for the new world, for the new age of Aquarius that is coming in for us? We have to have the strength right now, because we are going to go through this. I'm getting for the next 5 years, it's going to be challenging, yet it's going to be very empowering if we know how to empower ourselves. And we have the 5 of Swords in reverse, which is beautiful. It talks about us finally recognizing that there's no way that we can fight fire with fire. 5 of Swords in reverse talks about finally realizing the errors and the mistakes of constantly trying to be right in an argument, constantly trying to win over an argument just because we think we know more, or just because we have a difference of opinion. That we, even if we have a difference of opinion, collective, it's important that we let everyone have their own individual opinion, and we be okay with the fact that everybody is having their own bias in situations, because they have their own experience and their own understanding and wisdom about those specific topics that they're talking about, or those specific situations that they're dealing with, right? So this is what the collective is going to realize eventually, that we have to have the strength to come together, to stabilize ourselves, to know what makes us feel grounded, to know what makes us feel safe and secure within ourselves, to know what makes us not fearful about the future, but rather to plan a blueprint for our future, so that we don't have the headache anymore. With the 5 of Swords upright, this card is like talking about a headache, where collective is having a headache about how to stabilize themselves, and this is taking too much of strength from them and too much of like courage from them, and this is just we don't know how to overcome this. But Spirit is saying that you have the strength already. You have already gone through this in a lot of your incarnations in the past lives. Your ancestors have done this, have already sacrificed a lot for you to have this life for yourself. This is a time for you to break all those generational curses of being in the comfort space, right? And it's time to explore and to discover and to invent new territories for yourself. This is a time to invent new territories for yourself, and do it in a peaceful way, not in a way where you have to fight, or you have to argue, or you have to enrage over another person for what they are doing. I mean, there are people who enjoy war, who enjoy bringing in the profits from war by ensuring chaos on the collective. But the collective has to counter this energy with a more peaceful, balanced approach, and a more stable, grounded, and a practical approach towards how it is that they can make sure that they are stable within chaos. So even if the chaos is happening around the world, how can we stabilize ourselves to the point where we are unaffected, where we are safe and secure with our family, with our friend, with our community, with all of the people that we care about and we are concerned about, including the collective, right? Like me coming up here and talking to you guys about this is so that you guys get to hear this, and please do share this message with people you care about, because this is really important for you guys to have a printout of the maps, instead of just relying on your internet, having ebooks on certain herbal medicines, having certain resources that you have in your hand in case there's something that goes wrong and we don't have certain resources available for ourselves. Even though we we don't want the worst case scenario to happen, we have to be prepared for it, so that we can stabilize ourselves in our strength and be confident in our decisions, rather than depending on the governments to then decide for us, and then we being like these children who are helpless and powerless, and we don't know what to do for ourselves, because we think that the government is like our father or like our grandfather, and they are the only ones who can like guide us, and we have this cognitive dissonance with ourselves, right, where we completely disassociate with ourselves and our own power and our own sovereignty. So this is a time to take back your own power, your own sovereignty. I'm also getting take money out of your banks, slowly and steadily if possible. Make sure that you know how to preserve money yourself, or in case things change rapidly, because there are rapid changes that are coming in with this declaration of war from Russia on Ukraine. There's going to be massive changes, but it's about what you think is going to make you stronger, collective, and what are your dreams about this whole situation. All right, my loves. So this is the reading I have for you. I have to go and have my breakfast, but I love you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you all take care of yourself and make sure that you are safe and secure, right? And let me know in the comments down below if you are from any of these countries, or if you're facing certain issues. Please share with us, so that we can build a community where we can trust and rely upon each other to share suggestions with each other to survive these times. Thank you so much, my loves, and peace.